This is the Rebel Call channel. Welcome to today's show. The red bracelet that we all see celebrities always wearing, politicians wearing, even Tucker Carlson openly wearing his red bracelet. And out in the open, these people get away with wearing these red bracelets because all the common person thinks that it has something to do with the Kabbalah. But they don't know what is taught in the Kabbalah. They don't know the origins of the Kabbalah, which really go back to the Jews' captivity in Babylon. And we're told that it was the oral teaching of Moses' laws that these people were really studying and practicing. But if you actually research the Kabbalah, you'll see that it's nothing more than black magic. Now, I want to go into detail about some of the people who you've seen sporting those bracelets, but more specifically, not just getting into the certain people that we can't talk about, but how the Kabbalah actually plays a major part in Freemasonry. Most people out there don't think that or know that. In fact, some people are so dumb, they actually believe that Freemasons believe in Jesus Christ, that they're followers of God, our Father in heaven, and they're not. They're deceivers and they're liars. And their cult, their secret society is really just another front for Kabbalah. So some of the celebrities we've seen, like I mentioned, Tucker Carlson, we've seen Leonardo DiCaprio, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, Roseanne Barr, who's now a conservative, Demi Moore, Ashton Kutcher, Barbara Streisand, Elizabeth Taylor, Michael Jackson, Gwyneth Paltrow, Diane Keaton, Jerry Seinfeld, just to name a few. Mick Jagger is another one that comes to mind. And these are things that the human is not trained to look at anymore. We've been trained not to look at these things that are right in front of our faces. That's been done by design. That's why they get away with doing this stuff in front of us. They'll tell you that all it means is, oh, they're a practicing Jew now because they have a red bracelet on. And you're not supposed to look any further or think at all about, the Bible and about how even in the book of Revelation, God calls Jerusalem, Sodom, and Egypt. Because the specific people there who are not following the Old Testament, they are not following the Word of God. They are following man-made laws, Babylonian texts, which ultimately is about Luciferian worship. You see, the Synagogue of Satan departed from God a very long time ago. They departed from the prophets, and over the centuries, they developed man-made literature, which is called the Talmud and the Kabbalah. And it's extremely wicked and corrupt. And if you actually read the teachings in those books, you will find that a lot of it has to do with some of the things that we hear about going on with children underground. We heard scriptures in the Bible about some of the things done underground and the wickedness done in secret. That's stuff that's still going on today, and it involves children. It involves Baal worship. So Freemasonry has always praised the Kabbalah, and the top officials in Freemasonry even admit that the lodge's rituals and their teachings are the offspring of Jewish tradition. Albert Pike, who I've covered 1,000,000 times, the former sovereign grand commander of the Scottish Rite, was quoted as saying, "One is filled with admiration on penetrating into the sanctuary of the Kabbalah." In fact, at the 30th degree in Freemasonry, remember, you go through degrees. You go from the first degree to the second degree to the third degree. Most people actually don't get past the third degree of Freemasonry because it gets more and more serious, but it's revealed to them that Lucifer is God. And at the 30th degree, that it involves an initiation ritual of black curtains, skulls, and a coffin with a shrouded knight speaking from within. And this is where the Freemason gets into a direct spiritual relationship with Satan. Satan is personified as a mysterious Kabbalistic mystic. And ultimately, the teachings in Freemasonry are Jewish. So in 1855, Rabbi Isaac Weiss wrote that, quote, "Freemasonry is a Jewish establishment whose history, grades, official appointments, passwords, and explanations are Jewish from beginning to end." The Jewish Tribune newspaper in 1927 in an editorial stated that Freemasonry is based on Judaism. Eliminate the teachings of Judaism from the Masonic ritual and what is left. Ray Novisil, writing from Australia in 2004, stated, that Zionist world leaders, men in influential positions with various Masonic organizations everywhere, have worked hand in glove for a universal world revolution which will bring in the one world church and a one world government. Many Masonic lodges are exclusively Jewish, and nobody out there even has a clue. Okay, a popular pro-Freemasonry website entitled Judaism and Freemasonry commented that Jews were actively involved in the beginnings of Freemasonry in America. There is evidence they were among those who established Masonry in 7 of the original 13 states. A Jewish Mason, Moses M. Hayes, helped introduce the Scottish Rite in America. Jews, including rabbis, continued to be involved in the Masonic movement in the United States throughout our history. There have been 51 Jewish American Grand Masters. There are many common themes and ideals in Masonic and Jewish rituals, symbols, and words. Albert Pike was quoted as saying, "Every Masonic lodge is a temple of religion, and its teachings are instruction in religion." Pike also asserted that the true meanings of the symbols of Freemasonry are found in the occult philosophy of the Jewish Kabbalah, that Freemasonry owes all its secrets to the Kabbalah, and that Freemasonry is a religion based on the Kabbalah. I'm going to read to you a few quotes from authors who have covered the Kabbalah about demons, magic, and mysticism that is inside of those teachings. And again, all you see are these celebrities wearing these bracelets. All you see are conservatives who wear it too. And they want you to think, well, I'm just wearing it because it means it's good luck, or I'm just wearing it because I support the Jewish people. But if you actually knew what their teachings taught, you would certainly have a problem with it, especially listening to somebody who's openly out in the open wearing a red bracelet around their wrist telling you that they've converted and are now practicing Kabbalah, okay? Here are some quotes. Quote, "The Kabbalah contains such power and demonic teaching, it is more than enough to give the ideology and driving force needed to lead the world astray and to keep such an evil conspiracy alive through the centuries. The Kabbalah is a teaching source of the Freemasons as well as for other groups." That was from John Terrell, publisher of The Dove. Another quote, "Kabbalah, the sacred books of black magic of Orthodox Judaism, which form a large part of the basis of the Western secret societies, from Rosicrucianism to Freemasonry and the OTO. Kabbalism is itself derived from the sorcery of ancient Babylon and Egypt." Another quote, "Kabbalah is a system of Jewish mysticism and magic and is the foundational element in modern witchcraft. Virtually all of the great witches and sorcerers of this century practiced Kabbalism. The Hebrew Kabbalah is a series of occult writings that are as demonic as any incantation ever uttered in witchcraft. Webster's dictionary tells us the Kabbalah is, quote, an occult religious philosophy developed by certain Jewish rabbis, end quote. I'm going to read to you from Codex Magica, a book by Tex Mars, about the twisted satanic rituals and lies that are in this book. The rabbinical doctrines and teachings of Kabbalism are based on a curious blending of mosaic of astrology, numerology, graphology, color magic, symbology, alchemy, pagan religion, and pure Luciferianism. There are hand signs and body gestures, talismanic jewelry and clothing, hidden codes, and on and on. The end result is a confusing jumble of, quote, man is God theology, but only Jewish man, Gentiles are inferior. That would be us, the Gentiles, are inferior. And you could see how they look at us like cattle, which is why they're doing what they're doing on a global stage right now to everyone. It goes on to say, magical formulas, words of power, incantations and spells. Heads of chickens are chopped off and blood sprinkled around. Magic cords of specific color are worn on the wrist as miracle-working bracelets. Magic water is used to heal. Magic symbols are objects of trance-like meditation, and mantra-like chants are repeated over and over. The 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are touted as religious idols of great magical powers. Even their shapes are studied and accorded supernatural powers. Angels, archangels, divas, and elementals are worshipped and feared. There are gods and more gods, but only a mysterious, hazy, supreme deity behind everything. This supreme deity is a pantheistic God who fills up the whole universe. In fact, he is a macrocosm, the universe. Of course, as in an illuminist magic, they are the double-minded theology of as above, so below. The insidious lie that black is white and vice versa, that good and evil are one, that the shadow and the substance are unitary. Sex magic holds an important place in Kabbalism. And sex ritual is a popular vocation of students of the Kabbalah. And again, remember where we always would hear about these sex rituals in Aleister Crowley's teachings. Okay, you see how they're all connected to this? Because that's really what this is. Margie Martin, in her informed unpublished manuscript for her upcoming book, The Molten Image, explains that the tarot cards of witches and occultists are of Jewish origin and correspond with the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. Finally, Kabbalism is pure Illuminism because it teaches the secret doctrine that ultimately the higher level adept learns, that the holy serpent is the true God, that all the evil that a person does through alchemy is magically transformed into righteousness, and that yes, Lucifer is Lord. Satan is the true and only God, they claim. That is the essential doctrine of the Kabbalah. And it's important to note that the bill that was just passed, which again, I covered over on the Wake Up Call channel, that bill that was just passed is going to make videos like this, videos that are actually openly talking about what's in the books that they read and they practice, just talking about it, illegal. They're going to make it a crime. That's why I'm doing this video now while I can, because it's not really a big deal for me to get a strike on this platform anymore. And besides, I'm sick and tired of having to keep my tongue, held at bay and be afraid of what I can and cannot talk about. This is what it's all about. This is why I'm fearful of what's happening with Christians now, because they're getting in bed with people they don't even know. They think that they're their fellow brothers, even though they should know better, because it's the same people who are waiting for their Messiah, who are openly proud of the fact that they murdered the only true Messiah, yet they all believe that they're supposed to be in bed with them and do as they say, and they could do no wrong in God's eyes. But they don't read the verses in Revelation that tell us specifically that there will be those who claim they are Jews and are not. They are of the synagogue of Satan. And inside of all of their teachings, like I just read to you, the origins of all of that is black magic. All the stuff that I expose in all these music videos, all the Freemasonic stuff, this all goes back to Jewish mysticism, which at its core is black magic. And for people out there that don't know what black magic is, it's the summoning of demons, blood rituals, sex rituals. This is what runs amok in Hollywood. This is what runs amok at the White House and in all corporations at the top of the mountain in the corporations. All of these people, all are practicing Kabbalists. They're the ones who are trying to bring about this new world order. They're the ones who are bringing about order out of chaos. They are the ones. And all of these celebrities, there's a reason that they're involved in it. And they're not afraid to admit that they're involved in it because they know that you can't say anything. You can't question that. And if you do, you're anti this or you're anti that. Or you're not a good person if you actually call out and expose the teachings that are in these books. Some of the stuff that's in there, which I've covered on the website, and I'm sure some of you have seen in the past, whether it's Ted Pike's documentaries or many of the documentaries that have been made over the last decade or so, where the teachings of these specific people, you have the Christians out there who are literally going crazy over the government psyop that is the list of Jeffrey you-know-who, right? They came out and released that, and Christians are in an uproar about it. Conservatives are in an uproar about it. Yeah, you know what else they're in an uproar about? Hamas, which is a organization that was created by Israel, right? The moment they're in an uproar about ISIS, an organization that was created by their own CIA, which shows you how little they actually know about the world. And the people they're trying to protect and the people that they want to stand side by side with are the same people who are ultimately causing this world implosion right now. They're the ones destroying infrastructure by design. And Christians are being duped right along the way into getting literally in bed with the devil himself. That's what I'm fearful of. So how many celebrities did I just mention in the beginning of this? And I'm sure there's plenty more than the ones that I've named, but it's always a good thing when you're looking at the celebrities. I know we always look at the magazine covers, and I know a lot of you are already awake to this, but it's not a topic I've discussed here on YouTube, and I wanted to discuss it. I may have discussed it in 2016, even though I'm new to YouTube. I may have discussed it a little bit about some of the celebrities who wear the bracelet, but it's important to know the connection between Freemasonry, Albert Pike, and the Kabbalah, okay? Because it's rooted in all these secret societies. These are all protected groups that all practice the same black magic. So if all these people in all these positions of power are practicing these demonic teachings, you know what else they're getting prepared to do? Persecute Christians and persecute anybody that doesn't go along with what they say. And Christians ultimately are going to go along with it because they're being duped by their 501c3 churches. So that's just a video on that bracelet that you've seen millions of times and probably wondered what exactly it is. So if you think guys like Tucker Carlson have your best interest in mind, just comes from a wealthy family of millionaires, another guy that's great on the microphone, says the things you want to hear, you might say, well, how do we know that you're not? Because I'm a nobody. I don't matter. I keep getting removed. Who cares? That's how you know, okay? It's a badge of honor, sure. But that's how you know. Okay, I'm not on national television. I'm not being promoted anywhere. The only reason people find me is because I send out emails and they're able to find me. But other than that, there's no real reason to believe that people such as myself are actually agents. The agents are the ones who are out there not only speaking freely, not only not getting canceled, but openly revealing themselves with signs and symbols. You saw Russell Brand with his Saturn shirt right after he gets baptized. You see Tucker Carlson claiming to be a Christian, wearing a Kabbalah bracelet. What more do you need to know? I thank everybody for being here. Hope you're all doing well. God bless you and your families as always.